Hello, everybody. How are you guys? I hope you guys are good. I hope you're having a good day or night, depending on where you are. Okay, so Summer's case has been an ongoing investigation for 2 years now. Nothing, there has been no sightings of her, no anything. There's been no leads as to what happened to her. She was last seen walking into her home and was never seen or heard from again, according to her mom. Okay, now I know a lot of people have very strong opinions on what they believe happened to Summer and who they hold responsible for that. The facts are though that at this point nobody knows what happened to her. Okay? Nobody has been arrested or charged with anything. All right? So this video is going to just be about the interview that Candace did with the interview room. Okay. Um, so let's just get into that. I watched the entire thing. I wrote down things that she said, things that stood out to me. And these are just things that I picked up on while watching this interview. Okay. Nothing else, just what I picked up on. Okay. So at this point, I am neutral. Consider me Switzerland. Now, let's get into it. So they had gone to this interview was being done at the swimming hole where they had gone swimming right before the infamous picture was taken of Summer laying on the milk jugs. Okay. Now, when they got to the swimming hole, Hunter went off into the woods the opposite direction of them. Now, it was Hunter, it was Grandma, Candace, and Summer. Okay. Now, this is all going by off of what she said. Summer had her bathing suit on before they got there. She did not change there. They did not have any AC on in the car. They do not like AC. Now, Candace said she does not remember what time that she got there. She doesn't keep track of time. Now, that stood out to me for a reason. Now, this is just my personal opinion, but I just felt like if my daughter came up missing, I would run through that entire day. The day she went missing, I would run through that day every day in my head. I would run through it so many times just to make sure that, did I not notice something? Did I not notice someone? Did I not, is there something that I missed? So I just feel like, especially that day, you would you would pretty much be on top of what time everything happened just because you've gone through it in your head so many times over and over and over. Now, that's just something that stood out to me. Not everybody is like that. Like I was talking to Chad about it and Chad's like, I don't pay attention to time either. And he doesn't. I'll get up and I'll be like, what time did you go to bed last night? He'll be like, I don't know. I didn't look at the clock. He has no idea. So there are people that are just like that. And then Hunter came down from wherever he was and got in the water. And he had started splashing Summer, and Candace said, don't splash her. She doesn't like to be splashed. Candace said that she did not completely go underwater. She just put her head down in the water and came right back up. Now Candace earlier in the day, had gone to a smoke shop and a hippie house. Candace bought a tea for her mom at the smoke shop, hippie house to pick up the nicotine vapes, then to Walgreens to drop off the prescriptions. Then they had a half hour to kill. So they decided to go to the swimming hole while they were waiting for the prescription to get filled. After they picked up the prescription, they went to Sonic, got some drinks, and then went and dropped Hunter off and then went home. Now, Candace said that she never saw Hunter drink that day. I know there's, this was all brought up during the interview. So she said, but she did say that she didn't know if he took one of her vapes. Okay. I'm sorry. So after Sonic, they went to the grocery store, Priceless, to pick up a few things. Some milk. These were her words. Some milk, some cheese. I don't remember what else I bought. I then jumped. When she came out of the store, she handed Hunter. This was what she said. She handed Hunter the milk jugs and said, "Put these on the other side of Summer." And then she says that they then dropped Hunter off at his house. And these were her words. Summer was still awake when I left his house. Okay. And that struck me as weird. That struck me as weird that she said that. But I know there was a lot going on with that photograph. Okay. And a lot of people thought that Summer was passed in that photo. But so I don't know if she just made it a point to be like, listen, Summer was still awake when I left his house. I don't know. It just, something about it struck me. Let's see. She said when she came out of the store, Hunter was on his phone on TikTok. And she says Summer was still awake at this time. Okay, so she said, when I came out of the store and handed Hunter the milk, I said, put it on the other side of Summer. She was awake and sitting up at that point. She didn't go to sleep until after we left town. And then in the car, so if she was in her bathing suit and her mom said that she had just something light over her, just something light. And they were at the swimming hole, okay, for only a half an hour. And she said it was about 80 degrees that day. Tennessee, 80, okay? And he goes, well, did you change her clothes? Because in the picture, she was in jeans and a hoodie, a sweater. And she said, yes, I did. I did change her clothes because when I have the windows down, it could be 100 degrees. And roll up the window, mommy, I'm cold. That's how Summer was. So she said she had the change of clothes in the car for her. I mean, that could be. That could be. I just think, why would you have jeans and a sweater in the car when it's 80 degrees out? You know what I mean? I'm just saying, things that stood out to me. Before anybody wants to jump down my throat, these are just things that stood out to me. Candace says she's a happy little girl. She's the best little girl anybody could imagine. Just like, and then she says, well, I don't want to say her name. And he says, yeah, don't say her name. But nothing ever brings Summer down, hardly. I wonder, like, who was she going to say? Because she said she's the best little girl anybody could imagine, just like, and then she didn't say the person's name. She goes, yeah, I don't want to say her name. And the interview room guy goes, yeah, don't say her name. So I wonder who that is that they're talking about. Do you guys know? If you know, leave it in the comments below. I asked Mom what's Summer doing. She said she's sleeping. I said, how's she sleeping? And I look back. She had her arms like this, both hands behind her head. Okay. You guys know what I'm saying here? And that's how her daddy sleeps all the time. So I wanted to catch that moment. I told Mom to take a picture and she hit the video instead. I was like, did she put her arms back down? And she did. So she got a pic of her, but by then her arms were down. So she was trying to explain that video that was posted, because a lot of people questioned that. They were like, why did she want to? Because in the video it said something about, did you get her arm? Did you get her arm up? I think it was. And a lot of people, thought that was a weird video, because of the picture too that followed. So not good. So we got home. I unlocked the gate, went up. I unbuckled her. I woke her up. I unbuckled her. She jumped right up, got out of the car. and we went and grabbed the boys from the house to come help us with the groceries. Her 3 sons were home. The oldest is 12. And the interview room guy says, was he babysitting? And she says, technically, they were watching TV and sleeping at the same time. I was just going to run out real quick. Okay, so during this time, she had gone to Walgreens, dropped off the prescription, picked up Hunter, or I'm sorry, went to the hospital, picked up Hunter, went and dropped the prescription off, went to the swimming hole, went back and picked the prescription up, went to Sonic, went to the grocery store, and then came home. That would have been quite a long period of time that she was gone. Okay, and then we went into my house first to separate my mom's groceries from ours, which is what we always do. And okay, I'll just keep going. So then I was just chilling, watching TV with the boys, and then we decided to do some laundry. And then I said, come on, Summer, you want to go help Grandma plant some flowers? She was so excited. We did that, and it took us a while, probably 30, 40, maybe 50 minutes. We got done, washed our hands in Grandma's house. She asked Grandma for a piece of candy, which she always does, and of course, Grandma gave it to her. We were there for maybe 5-10 minutes at the most, and she said, Mama, I want to go back to the house with my brothers. I was like, all right. So I got up, walked her back across to where I could literally see her walking to my doorstep. I yelled to the boys, watch Summer, I got to go over and help Mom. I had to go in and get her knee brace and fix it. Took me about 5 minutes. I said, I'm going back to the house with the kids. I asked the boys, where's your sister? Or where'd your sister go? Oh, she went down to play with the toys downstairs, Mom. I yelled to her. I got no answer. I looked everywhere. Couldn't find her. So I sent the boys down to the creek. Couldn't find her down there. So I freaked out and I called Don. That's what I do, when I freak out. And I told him Summer was missing. He said, well, call the cops. So she said she got off her cell phone, threw it in the back of Don's truck, went over to her mom's to get the phone to call 911. Now that just stood out to me because she said something about AT&T, and she was just on her cell phone talking to Don. So why did she throw her cell phone and then go use her mom's phone to call 911? I just thought that was a little bit odd. He said, what do you think happened? Yeah. She said, somebody snuck up there in that yard and took my baby girl. Happens all the time, all around the world. In my heart, I feel that somebody has got her head out somewhere and is keeping her away from us. She said, I didn't know how many sex offenders lived around me that were only 8 minutes from my property. She said, my daughter never goes out into the woods because every day we would tell her there's dangerous snakes, bears, pack of dogs, coyotes, so many things out there that could hurt you. So she wouldn't go into the woods. She wouldn't go anywhere besides that swing. Okay, and then she talks about how her sister, her heart's been ripped out twice. Once her sister, which was 10 years ago, went missing, and now her daughter. And I could not even imagine. The pain that a mother would feel for knowing her daughter was missing for 2 years and never knowing what happened to her. Okay? I mean, that would be just, I couldn't even imagine. Her daughter walked into the house from the camper. So, and these are not far apart if you've seen the house. The camper was not very far from her house at all. And the mom said the last time she saw her daughter, she was walking into the home and she was never seen or heard from again. Now, I also watched the interview that the interview room did with Hunter's mom, Hunter's grandma, and this other woman named Leslie. Now I'm mentioning this because Hunter was with them that day. So I wanted to put in some of this that was said. Now, again, there's a couple things that these guys said that I questioned myself, and I wonder if this was ever verified. And you guys can let me know if you know down in the comment section below. Okay, so Hunter's grandma didn't like Candace. She'd previously stayed at Candace's house, but got into it over some Josie guy. Okay. Now, this is all that Candace was telling the interview room during that interview. She got mad. We got into it. She took her kid and left, and just left this guy at my house. And then him and my husband got into a fight. So my mom drove him to some chick's house in North Carolina, and we never heard from him again. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but that was the guy from Deadliest Catch, wasn't it? Okay, so now Hunter said that Summer had hit her head on a rock. Candace said that's BS. There are no rocks in there. That's when Candace said during the interview that Summer didn't even go under the water. She was not swimming under the water at any point. She just stuck her head in and popped right back out. Now, Hunter said that the tea that Candace bought was for him. Now, I just wonder if that has been verified, because I know it's been a lot of back and forth, but back and forth, he said, she said, doesn't get you the truth. So I just want to know if that has been verified. Let's see. Candace said that when she pulled up to drop Hunter off, Allie, nobody ever came down to the car, right? So she said she was trying to get Allie to come to the car, and Allie wouldn't. Okay, so it's, again, more he said, she said. And the thing she said about the car too, when she said she was driving, and she said, "Mom, what's Summer doing?" She said, "How's she sleeping?" And she looked back and saw how she was sleeping. She said that she asked her because she was driving, but I don't know. I don't know if that was that just seems like, I don't know. That just seems off to me, but especially having a rear view mirror, and you can easily look back and, but hey, I mean, some people, maybe she's just a really safe driver and she didn't want to take her eyes off the road. I mean, benefit of the doubt here. Okay. Let me get to this part. And I feel like she was worried about getting into trouble with the boys being left home alone, because she's like, because the interview room guy goes, "So your oldest, was he babysitting?" And her oldest was 12. Technically, they were watching TV and sleeping at the same time. So she didn't say yes, he was babysitting. And according to Hunter, the boys were at work with Don. That's what Candace told Hunter, according to Hunter. Okay. And the flowers that they had planted and transported when he went to the house, that was my first thing. I was like, where are the flowers that they were working on? And then Candace ended up showing him a couple cactuses that were there. So I guess that's what it was. But it just didn't seem to me like that it would have taken an hour, but I could be wrong on that. Maybe they just, move real slow. Okay, now Hunter says that Don made a call to Candace while she was in line, they were at the drive-thru in the pharmacy, and told her that he couldn't remember the name. He said it was either Andy or Andrew, was on the property and, being weird towards the kids. Candace said that is absolutely not true. All he did was ask me how our day was going and what time we would be home. But when she got home, Don was not home. Only the 3 boys were home. She did say that when they got home, she noticed a blue van at her neighbor's house. She just figured they had company. She didn't know that was the guy at the time that was trying to move in there. And do any of you guys know if it's been verified or clarified who the guy in the blue van was? Let me know in the comments below. She said that Don was in Jonesboro at the Meadows finishing drywall when Summer went missing. Now, they had like a lot of dogs on the property. Now, would it be possible for random to just walk up on the property and take the dog and take the girl without the dogs flipping out? Candace also mentioned that there were I don't know if there's city or town or village, but those people were there like trimming down the trees and stuff, which was right up to her property line. So I mean, she's like, it's even run through my mind if one of those people took her. I mean, and guys, like it or not, like kids, that shit happens all the time. Kids just get snatched up, and you don't even, especially if it's someone like that you don't know who this person is. You have no way of, I mean, you never know. But so those people that were doing the trees were there a couple days before and that same day. So I mean, it is a possibility. I wonder if if those people were ever looked into, cleared, questioned. Let me know in the comments below if you do know that. Now, Candace did say that she took a lie detector test. She said that the first lie detector test she couldn't take because she was too upset. She just couldn't do it. Now, she made it sound like she couldn't take one, so she didn't even try to take one. But a few days later, she went in, took one, and passed it. Now, Hunter and his parents, his mother, and all them are saying that the first time she took it, she failed it. So I wonder if you guys can clarify that for me, because Candace said she didn't take one because she couldn't take one that day. She was too upset. And then they're saying, no, she took one, but she failed it. So she had to go in and take another one a couple of days later. Now, Hunter, the day that Candace, which was Saturday, the day that Candace had to go in and retake the test, she called Hunter, told him that she failed her first test and she had to go in again. Why would she be calling a 15-year-old kid? You know what I mean? Even though he's friends with the family, like you'd think she'd reach out to the mom or she'd reach out to somebody else. It's just weird to me that she would be calling this kid. And I wonder, I'm sure it has been done. I mean, I hope it has been done that all these phone records were gone through. And I just wonder if it has been verified that Candace actually did call Hunter that day. If you guys know, please let me know. Now Allie says that Candace would smack the kids and abuse them, and they were always dirty and unkept. And this woman, Leslie, I don't even know. I think she's just friends with Allie, but I don't really know why she's involved. But she said that she knows that Candace doesn't treat her kids right, and that's the reason why she doesn't like her. She used an example that her two boys were in the horse playing in the pool one day, and when they wouldn't listen, and Candace made them get out of the pool and lay stomach down on the hot blacktop. Again, I wonder if these things have been verified, because if they haven't, I don't really know why it's included, because it's, this he said, she said is what really clouds up an investigation. Okay. So I just wonder if these things have been checked out and verified and cleared. Can you guys please let me know? So Allie, according to Allie, Candace's mom told her that when her and Don found out they were pregnant with Summer, they were supposed to give the mom was supposed to take her and raise her because they didn't want girls, but that didn't happen. So I also wonder if that was verified. But they said that Hunter was dropped off at his home between 2 and 2:30. And at 3:00, he was picked up by his girlfriend's mom and went to hang out at her house. At 7:29 p.m., Hunter called his mom and told her that Summer was missing. Now, according to Candace, when they dropped Hunter off, Summer was awake and still awake at the time. Okay. According to Allie, Summer was already asleep and leaning on the milk. Now, this is what really pisses you off, okay? Because if you're somebody that's just coming into this and you see this he said, she said, and these people, for whatever reason, have a grudge against this family. This family, for whatever reason, has a grudge against these people, and it makes it very hard to know who's telling the truth and who's full of shit. But, that's the thing. So if you guys can clarify any of this for me, please do so. But Hunter said she was still alive when he was dropped off at home. Now, when Allie didn't believe it at first when Hunter called her and told her that Summer was missing until she had seen it on Facebook. So Allie reached out to Candace. Candace was on video chat with Allie, telling her what had happened. They said she was not crying. She was not emotional. She was just walking back and forth, messing with her hat on her head. And she said that she had to go to bed soon because she had to get up really early the next day. Now, this was at 11:30 p.m., the day her daughter went missing. Do you guys know if cops have that video chat and if that is true? Because if that's true, that does kind of tell you some things. Because, I, for one, if my kid was missing, listen, I'm not getting any sleep anyway. I'm not getting up. Listen, all plans are canceled for the aforementioned time. All plans, there is no plans. Like, we got to find my kid. So, that I'm just saying. But I know everybody's different. Yeah, I just wonder why she would call Hunter. And again, Hunter said the twisted tea was for him and not her mom, like she had said. Let me see. Her brothers picked. Okay. So Hunter says his relationship with Summer he was like the big brother that she never had. He said he treated her like a big brother should, when all her brothers ever did was pick on her all the time. Like I said, you guys, this is just going through the interviews, writing down what was said and what stuck out to me. I definitely want to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below, but I'm starting to realize why, things weren't figured out in this case with all these people running, not like, I just want to know if any of this stuff was verified by the police. If you guys know the answers to that, please let me know. And then I can just, move on to where my next steps are looking. So please hit that thumbs up. Please consider subbing to the channel. Please consider becoming a member if you've not already done so, and go ahead and join the family. We would love to have you. Anybody who wants to do anything extra, the links are all down in the description below. I love you guys. Stay strong, stay healthy, stay safe. Keep asking those hard questions and keep spreading that light. I will see you guys next time.